What's going on, fellow backpackers? My name is Dan, and today I am reviewing one of my favorite pieces of backpacking clothing, the Enlightened Equipment Torrid jacket. So I've had this jacket for about 2 years now, so I thought it was time to finally do a review on it. So in this video, I'm going to start off talking about all the specs and features of this jacket, as well as all the things that I really like about it. And I'm going to end on some of the things that I don't like. And as usual with all of my videos, this is not sponsored by Enlightened Equipment. I did buy this jacket with my own money. Okay, so let's start off talking about the material of this jacket. So Enlightened Equipment uses the exact same material on this jacket that they use on their quilts. So if you already have a quilt from Enlightened Equipment, then you will know exactly what this material feels like. So they use their standard 10D nylon on the outside and on the inside, although you can choose a thinner 7D nylon for both the outside and inside if you want to save a little bit of weight, although that will add to the cost of the jacket. Or you can also choose a thicker 20D nylon just for the outside if you want something that's a little bit more abrasion resistant. And the outside of the fabric does have a DWR finish so that it can repel a light misting of rain and or snow, but anything more than that and you're going to want to wear a rain jacket. Just like pretty much all of Enlightened Equipment's products, you can choose from a pretty large variety of different colors for both the outside and for the inside. This particular jacket, I bought it as an in-stock version, so the only one that they offered at the time was a black exterior with a gray interior. I probably would have chosen a different color if I had customized it because I personally think that this one looks like a garbage bag. And by the way, I will include a link in the description to Enlightened Equipment's website if you want to check out all the different color and size options for yourself. This jacket uses synthetic insulation. It's the Apex Climate Shield insulation that Enlightened Equipment uses on a lot of their products. And this one in particular is the 2 ounce per square yard variety. Now, when I say 2 ounce, a lot of people kind of get confused about that. It does not mean that it's the overall amount of insulation in the jacket. It is really a measurement of the thickness and ultimately the warmth of the insulation. So this is 2 ounces per square yard, but they also make 4 ounce per square yard, 6 ounce per square yard. However, you can only get the 2 ounce per square yard variety in this jacket. So one big thing you'll notice about this jacket right away is that there are no baffles on this jacket like you would find on a down jacket. And there are very, very few seams. And that's because they're able to take the synthetic insulation, which kind of comes in just a big sheet, and just sew it to a few areas around the jacket. So they don't need to create any kind of baffles or a bunch of different seams to attach the insulation to the fabric. Now that has a couple of different benefits. Number one, it makes the jacket a little bit lighter because there's not as much thread on the jacket. And number two, it technically makes it warmer because there's not as many spots for heat to escape through those seams. And likewise, there's not as many spots for wind to penetrate through those seams. So it makes the jacket overall somewhat better at wind resistance. And speaking of wind resistance, Enlightened Equipment does provide wind resistance / breathability ratings for all of their different fabrics. So the standard 10D nylon has a rating of 10 CFM, or cubic feet per minute, while their thinner 7D nylon has a rating of 35 CFM, and their thicker 20D nylon has a rating of 1 CFM. Now to put that in context, a standard rain jacket has about 0.5 CFM, while a standard fleece, which is very breathable, has about 200 CFM. So at 10 CFM for the standard 10D nylon, it's still very wind resistant while being more breathable than a standard rain jacket. And in reality, as I've used that, I've considered that to be pretty accurate. I've never really felt clammy in this thing, and I've also never felt like wind is just ripping right through the jacket, so that sounds pretty accurate to me. Now, one of the best things about this jacket is the weight. It is so incredibly light for being a pretty warm synthetic insulated jacket. So this one is a size small, and I do have a hood, and it weighs 7.75 ounces. I'll throw up on the screen all the different weights at all the different sizes, and it's also going to depend on whether or not you want to go with a hood. If you do add a hood, it adds anywhere from 0.75 ounces on up to 0.9 ounces, depending on the size of the jacket that you choose. And it currently costs $170 with the hood, that's at all the different sizes, or $150 without the hood. And again, that price will change a little bit if you choose the optional 7D or 20D material. As far as features go, it's a pretty minimal jacket, and I think they do that to cut down on weight. So they only have two pockets, two hand warmer pockets here on the front, and both of them do have YKK zippers, so you can keep things secure inside of there. There are no inside pockets on this jacket. Again, only those two hand warmer pockets. It's a YKK zipper on the front here as well. It uses elastic on the cuffs as well as on the waist, which forms a really nice fit around your hips. And again, my jacket does have a hood. Let me take off my hat so you can see that a bit better. So the hood does come up pretty well over your head, and the zipper comes up right about over your chin. So it has a really good fit to it overall. It covers most of your head, and when you turn your head, very importantly, the hood also turns with it. I really don't like that about some jackets where the hood just kind of stays in place and you're looking from one side to the other, kind of like this. This one is much, much better. And you can also tighten the hood down with these two little pieces of shock cord here with some locks if you need it to be a little bit tighter. And this is one area that they improved over their original version. I know that there were a lot of complaints about that because they used to have these cord locks on the inside of the jacket, and it was uncomfortable rubbing up against your chin and your neck. So they have since fixed that and put them on the outside of the jacket where they belong. Now I think the fit on this jacket is excellent, and Enlightened Equipment did a really good job sizing these jackets. So again, this one is a size small, and Enlightened Equipment does say that they size up all their jackets by about a half of a size so that you can layer underneath the jacket. And I don't know if you can necessarily see this, but you do have plenty of room to add in, a fleece or anything else that you need underneath the jacket and still have enough room for the insulation to do its job. So I think that they struck a really good balance between being able to give you some extra room to layer, but not having to be absolutely huge. So again, I think that the fit on this is absolutely perfect. They also did a really good job sewing the sleeves. You have plenty of range of motion without anything getting like tight or binding or anything. It's really, really good range of motion. And it also is not really tight around the armpits, which is a complaint I have about a lot of other jackets. Some jackets get really, really tight underneath the armpits, but not this one. It gives you plenty of room, and overall just a very, very comfortable fit. And speaking of fit, they do also make a women's specific version of this jacket so that it's more appropriately cut for women around the chest and around the hips. As far as the warmth of this jacket, I have been pleasantly surprised at how warm this thing actually is. So I've had this jacket down to about 32 degrees Fahrenheit, so right at freezing, and I've still been comfortable in this jacket. Anything below 32 degrees, and I probably would want to bring my warmer winter jacket, but that's just me personally. So everyone's body is a bit different, and you're going to feel a little bit warmer or colder in this jacket than I am. But I think that this is really the perfect three-season type of a jacket. This is both lighter and warmer than the fleece that I normally bring on three-season trips. So it's an absolute no-brainer for me to bring this thing instead. So I've already said a lot of things that I like about this jacket. Now let me talk about a few things that I don't like. Number one is a common complaint that I've heard many times, and I do kind of agree with it, and that is the fact that when you put on the sleeves of the jacket, a lot of times the inside part of the fabric can kind of come out of the sleeves and bunch up. So you have to tuck it back in, and that's especially true if your arms are wet, because then it does kind of stick to the fabric, the inside fabric, a little bit more. So that does tend to happen with this jacket. It's not so much of an annoyance that I wouldn't get the jacket. It's just one of those things that you kind of have to learn to live with this jacket. Number two is a larger annoyance for me, and that has to do with the elastic that they use around the waist. I would much rather have an adjustable piece of shock cord with some locks so that I can tighten or loosen the waist as I see fit. The problem that I find with this elastic is that since it's tight against your body all the time, it tends to creep up on you as you're walking. So I'm constantly finding myself having to pull the jacket back down, which I just find annoying. So again, I would rather have a piece of adjustable shock cord with some little locks, which I know would probably add a little bit of extra weight to the jacket, but in my opinion, that's totally worth it. And the last downside about this jacket is not so much of a complaint as it is a suggestion for Enlightened equipment. It would just be kind of cool to see this jacket come in varying weights of insulation, like they do for a lot of their other accessories, like this Stronghold mitten. You can currently get this in 2 ounce, 4 ounce, or 6 ounce per square yard insulation. But again, with this jacket, it only comes in 2 ounce per square yard. So it would just be, again, kind of cool to see this come in both 4 ounce and 6 ounce per square yard if you want to have an even warmer jacket. Now, it's possible that Enlightened equipment does not do that for a very good reason. Perhaps that having 4 or 6 ounce per square yard insulation would just make this jacket too heavy and it couldn't really compete against other synthetic insulated jackets. So that's entirely possible, but if it is within the realm of possibility as far as weight, I would like to see this offered in additional insulation types. But overall, I do really love this jacket. Again, it is one of my favorite pieces of backpacking clothing. I think that this is just a perfect 3-season style of backpacking jacket. And I also think it's actually a pretty good value, which I don't often say about something that costs $170, but if you compare it to some other jackets that are out there, like the Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer, which is in the same kind of class as far as weight and warmth, that jacket costs over $300 at full retail price. Although I know you can often get it for much cheaper when it's on sale, which it pretty much always is. But again, compared to that jacket, this one is just a fairly good value for the money. That about does it. Be sure to stick around for some bloopers. Thank you for watching, and as always, have fun out there. 20 to be... So close, so close. Now, a lot of people get kind of... Dude, I'm getting hot. What am I missing? I mean, it's just a jacket, right? We all know what jackets do. And just swamping on you. Swamping on you. What the hell's another word I could use? I don't need to say that. No one cares. Nobody cares.